roaming is one of the most important roles on defense in Siege. If you can roam well, not only can you get a ton of kills, but you can guarantee round wins for your team, allowing you to win more games and rank up fast. So to be sure you have all the information you need to be the best roamer you can be, we're going to cover everything from what operators you should be playing and banning, where to play, and what you should do as the round progresses. After this video, you will never struggle on the roam again. Now first, a very important thing to keep in mind when roaming is the goal is not to get kills. The goal is only to waste as much time as possible. If you make it back to site with 0 kills, but there's a minute and a half left in the round, that is a good roam. Now there are 2 ways that you can do that by roaming, either horizontally or vertically. With both of them, the goal is to make sure that the attackers cannot get into sight without dealing with you first. So first, let me show you how to do that horizontally. A perfect example of that is Master Bedroom on Chalet. So usually if you're holding this, you'll have a rotate over here, and you want to hold Solar over here, you want to hold the Master Bedroom, and you want to hold the offices. Now on top of that, you're going to be holding Piano, and you're going to be holding Bathroom. But this I still count as anchoring, since it's essentially part of the bomb site. When it actually becomes roaming is when you come over here and hold Library side. So first, let's reinforce this wall right here, open up some holes right here, and open up some more holes right here. Now if you're playing someone like a zombie, you can even put some Kiba barriers here to block off this window, and maybe a Kiba barrier right here to protect you from this window. Now here's how this setup works and what the goals are. If anybody tries to come in this big window, you can play behind this Kiba barrier and peek either side. If you don't have the Kiba barrier, you can still peek here to see the window, but obviously the Kiba barrier is in the way right now. And this allows you to hold anyone coming in from here while also being able to leave Library using this Kiba barrier. Now if anybody tries to come in the single window, you have these holes right here to help you contest it. You also can hold anybody coming in K9 from here. This completely stops the attacker's push unless they deal with you. Now, when they start taking control, right, they're going to put a lot of pressure on you. Don't hold it for too long. If this guy is pushing up on you, you don't have to take this gunfight. Instead, fall back to this area here and hold here. This is called a tiered roam. The different tiers are playing outside here to hold Library and K9, then giving them that space and holding back here to prevent them from taking this space, and to contest this area right here to stop them from pushing up. Then when they start putting more pressure on you, you can pop something like this, fall back into Piano, and now the goal is to still prevent them from taking this space, but from a safer position. So you're going to be here taking gunfights on anybody swinging here. You can take gunfights on this here. You can take gunfights on blue stairs, but you're still preventing them from taking the space. Now they have the space to get the wall open, but by this time you'll have delayed a lot of time. So that is a horizontal example. Let me give you a vertical example. So there are 2 ways that people typically roam on tellers. One is they will expand over here into ventilation. This allows them to have a tiered horizontal roam on anybody trying to take this space and take across the map over to tellers. Now, the other way that people roam on this site is vertically. So if I come upstairs here, then there are a few ways that you can actually help hold the site. The way that you can do that on a vertical roam is by opening up holes above. So obviously you're going to want to reinforce the hatch just in case you lose above. And I've opened up all these holes in the floor because that forces the attackers to deal with you first. Because otherwise, if they push workshop, you have these holes here to hold them. You also have the hatch open, and you have a massive advantage when you're taking these gunfights from above. They can't plant over here in this corner. They can't plant in the stalls. They can't plant anywhere in bathroom here. The only place that they can plant is in the actual bomb site over here, not in bathroom. That's because all of this is a hard floor. But if they do push this hallway, you can hold them here. And if they are planting over there and they don't take you above first, then you can go over here and hold anyone on site from up here. This allows you to retake the site and have full hallway and bathroom control. Now, this is still a tiered roam. The goal is to prevent any attackers pushing site from above, but when they are pushing you, you have a few ways out. So if there's no attackers down here like this, you can actually just drop the hatch to escape. Or if they are pushing armory side like this, maybe preventing you from dropping the hatch, then you have the other option of coming over here to east stairs. Maybe you open up a rotate at the start of the round that allows you to come through here and go down down east stairs. The other option is also to rotate into CCTV and use this hatch here, or even this closet hatch over here. And finally, the last way down is to just drop this big open area here. All of this allows you to delay a lot of time, because if the attackers don't push you, you can just kill them from above. Now, the next tip is to pick operators not because they're good at killing people, but because they're good at wasting time. Let me give you a few examples. Vigil is very good at wasting time, because if they're droning you, you can activate your scanner and they won't know where you are anymore. I can drop this hatch and that drone will have no idea. For all he knows, I could still be in CCTV. This wastes a lot of time because they have to re-drone you every time you deactivate your scanner, and then you can just reactivate it again and they lose all their progress. This allows you to move around the map while delaying a lot of time, because they will never know exactly where you are, only the general area. This makes you a huge threat because you could surprise them from anywhere, especially off angles where they might not be expecting you. Now, Solus is really good because you can keep track of where the drones are and destroy a ton of them. This will be similar to Vigil because they will have no information left. Even though you can't see what specific gadget it is, it's pretty easy to tell if it's a drone. And this allows you to take away all the information from the attackers, and information is a great way for the attackers to speed up their push. If they have none, then they're going to lose the round on time. If they have to face check every angle, it'll be a lot easier to kill them. Now, Lesion and Capcan are also very good for delaying time. That is because both of them allow you to place traps that will block off certain choke points, allowing you to have information on where the attackers are pushing. For example, if I place a Lesion mine on this doorway here, I know they cannot push from armory without at least letting me know first, because they'll either have to shoot it or they will hit the Lesion mine and I will get a notification of where they're coming from. If you place those Lesion mines or Capcans on a ton of different spots, then you'll have a ton of information on what areas are clear and that you don't have to worry about them pushing from. Now, a zombie is similar because you can use your Kiba barriers to block off doorways, forcing them to make a lot of noise and destroy it before coming into the room. And it also allows you to create extra angles that the enemies will be worried about clearing, because it'll make it a lot more difficult to take gunfights on you. Now, Cav is completely useless. It's because you don't really help out your team that much. You're playing for the flank, but you're not really delaying time. All they need is a nomad and you are completely useless. Just stop running Cav. Now, the next tip is to always reposition if your roam is not effective. So if you're holding over here in library, but they just don't seem to be pushing you at all, it is okay to give up this space for you to reposition to help something actually useful. If they are all pushing solar side, then it's probably a good idea to do one of two things. Either come back to site to help support your teammates in holding down solar, or the other option is to try and flank them. You are already in library, so you have a fast flank. So all you have to do, just kind of slow walk up to them, and then at the last second, you can flank them and kill them. Either of these works fine. Just do not stay in library, whatever you do. That makes you completely useless. You won't waste any time. You won't get any kills. Your roam is completely ineffective. Now, the next tip is to always have at least 2 escape routes. Now, if you're holding library, you actually have 5 escape routes that you need to keep in mind. The escape routes that you need to have in your mind is this hatch here, these blue stairs, back to site, and dropping fireplace. So if they are putting just too much pressure on big window here, or just in library in general, and they're not really pushing K9, you can drop fireplace and go into bar or go into basement, and that is one escape route. Now, if they are putting a lot of pressure onto K9, then your escape routes can actually be over here in this hatch in library, or even in box hatch right here. Now, if they are pushing K9 and they are pushing library, then you can still drop this box hatch here, or you can rotate back to site, or you can rotate down blue stairs. The important thing is to keep all of your escape routes in mind. That way, if they open up any cutoffs or are pushing any specific areas like K9 or library, they can't cover all of your escape routes. And finally, the last tip is to ban specific operators. There are certain operators that are much harder to deal with while you're roaming. Some examples of those are obviously Deimos. Deimos is extremely difficult to deal with on the roam. That is because you cannot hide from him because you won't have mute on the roam, so he can find you anywhere and kill you. Another option is Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi obviously calls you. Now, the reason that this is bad when you're roaming, it is because it makes you much easier to drone out, because no matter where their drones are, even if they can't see you, they will hear you and find you very easily. The next operator that you might want to ban is Jackal. Now, although Jackal got a nerf where there's only one ping per scan now, he can find you anywhere on the map. This can be very dangerous if you're trying to escape, because once you try to escape in your tiered roam setup, Jackal here will scan you and know exactly where you are escaping to, meaning they can cut you off a lot more easily. And finally is shields. If you have ever been roaming and been run down by a blitz, you know how terrifying it is. Blackbeard as well is very difficult to deal with, so keep shields in mind for banning. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and check out this video on 5 aim tips that will make you way better at Siege.